Practice with Oksana. Today we're going to do a more rounded class, more well rounded.
Good.
You'll flow a little bit in the beginning, go through a series of standing poses, and we'll do some floor work. And do you want to do some back bends today?
Sure.
Okay. And we'll do some back bends and cool you off, and that'll be that. Please come to your mat.
Okay.
Step to the front of your mat. Take 5 breaths. As you breathe, make no particular effort physically. Make no particular effort mentally. Come into a place of observation. Maintain that sense of observation for at least this first 10 minutes of flow. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank and lower down. Inhale, come up to Shalabhasana. Stretch your arms back. You'll notice as you make physical effort to achieve the poses, you can still do the efforts generally. You don't have to do them so particularly. Put your hands in a push-up position, tuck your toes, press back, downward dog. The human life is very much a pulse between the particular and the general. Stay in that sweet state of open, general observation. Bend the knees, walk or step forward, or jump. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Release your hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Step the left leg back, lunge. Step back to dog pose. Exhale. Plank pose. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. Shalabhasana, inhale. Couple breaths here. Moving into that general sense of observation. You have a general feeling of left to right. You have a general sense of activity and a general sense of wherever is passive or non-active. Put the hands in a push-up position. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step the left leg forward, lunge. Inhale, step forward, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Right leg back, lunge. You'll know that you're in that general sense of observation because you're not adjusting anything and you're not choosing a lot of mental force. You're not particularly tense in any one place. Step back to dog pose. Breathe out. Come forward to plank. Breathe in. Lower down. Shalabhasana again. As you repeat poses, you'll notice that there will be different amounts of sensation, different amounts of engagement in particular places, and that's natural. As the breath moves, remember your intention, plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward dog. Lift the right leg. Step through to lunge. Step forward, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale, reach up the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Left leg back, knee on the floor. Lift the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Gentle, gentle, not too deep. You can let the pelvis come forward, but not too far. Just nice. Yeah, that's good. Belly strong. Exhale, touch the floor. Downward dog. Plank pose. Lower down. Cobra pose this time. Downward dog, exhale. Lift your left leg up. Step through. Right knee down. Lift the arms. Touch the floor. Step forward. Look up halfway and forward fold. Stand up, reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg back. Knee on the floor, Anjaneyasana. Good. Stay in contact with the general sense, general open observation. Touch the floor. Downward dog. Plank pose. Lower down. Cobra pose. Downward dog. Lift the right leg. Step through to lunge, left knee on the floor. Lift the arms, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, touch the floor. Step forward, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Release the hands, take 5 to 10 breaths. It's been 12 minutes. Notice how the particular edges are a little softer. And maybe even more clear, like you might know way more particularly how you're doing. And the general sense is more vibrant. The general feelings are more vibrant. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Left leg back. Keep the leg straight this time. Lift the arms up. Now to back bend safely, you must have a general sense of extension of the spine. The general sense is that the upper back has a moving in and up, and the lower front has a sense of moving in and up. So they're both moving in and up, but on the lower spine it's the front body, and on the back spine it's the back body. Touch the floor. Step back to dog pose. Come forward to plank. Lower down. Shalabhasana. Notice the upper back. Every inhale, try to arch your upper back higher. And as you lift up in the upper back, you can move your arm bones slightly down away from the neck so the shoulder blades move down, but also protract the shoulder blades. Try to go wide in the upper back. Good. That is essentially extension in the upper back. Keeping that, try to pull your belly off the floor. As you lift and pull the transverse core up away from the floor, that's extension in the lower back. Put your hands in a push-up position. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Lift the left leg up. Step forward. Lift the arms. In the lower belly in the front, engage the core in so that both sides of the front of the lower belly are pulling up, both sides of the navel pulling up, and that helps the lumbar spine lift up into extension. The upper spine is more a function of the way that the shoulders work and your intention of extending and lifting the chest up. Touch the floor, step forward, forward fold. Utkatasana, squat. Really good pose, Oksana. You look like you're ready to jump, and that's good. Also, I can tell that you're not just letting the lower belly and the belly fall forward. You're consciously toning it in and up, and the upper spine is extending. It looks really good. Go ahead and stand up. Slight gentle back bend. Keep awareness, general awareness of the lumbar spine, the belly pulling in and up, and the upper back lifting and extending, and then exhale, fold forward. Look up halfway. Left leg back. Put the foot flat this time. Turn it out 90 degrees or turned in a bit. Go to side angle pose. You can take the variation with your hand on the floor, or you can do the variation with your right forearm on your right knee. The top arm, keep it on your left hip for a second. Yeah. In poses like this, the hand on the hip for a moment helps you to make sure that you're not turning the hand toward the back of the pose with your hip. So if you scoop under prematurely and that tissue under your left hand, if it turns backwards toward the back of the pose as you try to open the top, then that will tend to jam out the lower back. So you keep it turned in slightly and then pull the lower belly in and up to support the lumbar spine, and then take the left arm over the head and extend the upper spine in the pose. Nice job. Take a few breaths. Straighten the front leg triangle pose. Put the left hand back on the hip to recheck. Your right hand can either be on the floor, on the right ankle, the base of the shin bone, or up on a block. And just enjoy the general feeling of the pose first. Notice the quality of engagements, the quality of passivities, like where do you tend to hyper force and where do you tend to become hyper passive. And let your observation inform your choices of how you support the pose, never losing track of the general extension of the spine by support from the lower belly and by conscious extension in the upper back. Go to dog pose, exhale. Left leg forward. Side angle pose. When you take the first few breaths to breathe and to feel generally, it's such a wonderful time to just enjoy being in the body, to enjoy moving the body and practicing yoga. Take the right arm over the head. If you have a problem in any part of the body that makes it uncomfortable or painful, rather, make an adjustment, make a choice that allows you to be in general good feelings. Go to triangle pose. Downward dog. And you take a moment as you make adjustments in your pose to recall and remember that you do need the particular. You need to understand distinction. You need to be able to measure what is healthy and what is less healthy, or unhealthy, or poisonous. And most importantly, that distinction needs to be cultivated in the mind to recognize poisonous thoughts and to allow the attention of the body to move away from those thoughts in recognition of noticing, oh, that is a useless thought. Warrior 2, right leg forward. Straighten the right leg. Triangle pose. Nice adjustment in the right shoulder. Left hand on the left hip, half moon pose. Keep engagement in a general extension of the spine as you come up. And if you never lose that in transition, if you keep the spine extended in transition, then when you get to the pose, you have a quicker general feeling of balance, a quicker general feeling of power and ability to choose, to adjust. The particulars of this are that where your left foot goes in space will determine which way the pose goes. The left foot's like a rudder of a boat. Also, the ability of the core body to lift, the lower belly, it is like the main sail. Bend the right knee. Triangle pose. Yeah! Way to ride the mainsail. That was it. That was it. And the secondary sail would be the upper back. Left hand down. Downward dog. I was lost in my boat analogy. Left foot forward, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Right hand on the hip, half moon. It feels so good to just move with that general sense of observation, because you're not trying to micromanage each little piece of the pose. You're zooming out above you, viewing down at the whole body at the same time. And you can see, oh yes, the neck is extended too far. Maybe the right ankle is supinated a little bit. Maybe the, geez, I don't know, it's a pretty nice pose there. Go back to triangle pose. Nice job. Beautiful landing. And right hand down, downward dog. Right foot forward, warrior one to warrior three. If it's hard to turn the hips forward and square them with the back heel down, you can always lift the back heel. Keep the lower belly gently moving in and up, and keep the upper back extended so the whole spine has a general feeling of extension. And bow forward halfway, keeping that. And then, yeah, that was super nice. Without losing your general extension in your spine, go ahead and lift the back thigh higher and tip the pelvis forward. Bend the right knee, go back, warrior one. Gentle back bend or a deeper extension this time. The body's quite warm now, so as you extend into your back bend, do be mindful that the hips are square forward, the legs are strongly squeezing muscle to bone, and the general extension of the spine is leading the way. Plank pose. Rest on the belly. Do one Dhanurasana. Bend the knees, grab the feet. When you do Dhanurasana, lift the right leg higher and faster and roll over to the left shoulder. Good. And stretch the top of the right thigh out more. Yeah, probably looking toward the ceiling a little bit with the head is a little bit safer for the neck. And not too far, but a little bit. A little bit of upward lift in the chin. It's okay. Yeah. Yep. And go on back. One time up the middle. Downward dog. Left leg forward, warrior one to warrior three. You're really doing great in this pose. And what I want you to do is to tip the pelvis forward more. Yep. And that helps you lift the back leg. The pelvis will tip and you lift the back leg, and that is riding on the general sense of extension in the spine. Couple more breaths. That's long enough. Bend the left knee. Warrior one. Arch back a little. Good. Touch the floor. Plank to lower down to the belly. Bend the knees, catch the ankles. This time, roll to the right shoulder by lifting the left leg higher. Nice. And then open the top of the left leg a little bit more by kicking the foot back. Good. Come to center. Lift the head and chest and legs one time in the middle. Then come down. Plant the hands. Tuck the toes. Dog pose. Right shin forward, pigeon pose. First one, keep the chest lifted. When you make adjustments in the hips and the legs, do it in order to keep the general extension in the spine. Switch sides. Now the upper palate, it's got to move into the back plane. Yeah, while the spine is extending. And that will really help to take the general extension into the spine from the base to the occiput. Put the hands on the floor, switch sides again. Forearms down. Right hand on the right hip, twist open. Right shoulder on top of left shoulder, and then bend the back knee, catch the foot. As you pull the left heel toward the butt, keep the hips square to the front and keep the belly integrating. The sides of the navel drawing in and up. Good, and with the upper back extending, you take the upper palate back very gently. Let go, switch sides. Left hand on the hip. Bend the back knee, catch the foot. Go to downward dog. Jump through or walk through to sitting and lay on your back. Take your arms wide a little bit more, like about yeah, that's nice. About a foot, and feet together. Flex the ankles, bend the knees. Yeah, a little bit more bend. That's good. Claw the floor gently like you have a grapefruit under your hands. Yeah, there you go. That's a grapefruit. Good. That's like a lemon. So now get up to an orange level. There, not by just cocking your wrist up though. Instead of cocking your wrist up, lift your elbow off the floor. Yeah, but not wrist so high. Get your wrist down. A little bit more wrist down. Elbow up, wrist down. There it is. Hey, good. Very nice. Now keeping that, Press the hands gently down so you feel your upper back and your backs of your arms get strong, toned up. That helps extend the upper spine. Now keep that and squeeze your feet together. Pull back with the heels and lift the hips, maybe just a 1/4 inch off the floor. Good. Keeping the feet squeezing together and the heels dragging back. Tone the low belly. Tone the low belly toward the lumbar spine and extend the upper spine. Press the hands into the floor. Press the upper arms into the floor. Pull back with the heels toward the butt. Good integration. You can stitch the floating ribs down a little bit. Stitch the floating ribs down. Yep, a little bit more. Stitch, there you go. Keeping that, lift the hips just slightly. And rest. Oh, doggy. Let's do bridge pose. Plant the feet. Lift the hips up. You can keep the arms wherever you like, either where they were for the previous exercise, or you can move them in. This is a good place to check the stitching down of the floating ribs. Hey, nice work. Now you keep that with every exhale. You engage it with every exhale, but you keep it with every inhale. Then, keeping that, turn the thighs in, lift the hips higher. Rest. Plant the feet. Bridge pose, second time. If it's not so easy to lift the hips, you can walk the feet out a little bit. For instance, right now your shin bones are not yet vertical. So if you walk your feet out a little bit, then your heels will get more under your knees and you'll be more vertical on the shin bone. Now what that tends to do is it tends to allow you to push the heart toward the chin a lot easier. Now as the heart pushes toward the chin, you got to keep the front ribs stitched down, the floating ribs stitched down, and then push the heart toward the chin as the arm bones push to the floor. And it's very important that you're not pushing the chin toward the heart. The chin stays more stable as the upper palate moves back. Rest. So there's an amazing utility to having a general feeling of the body, to observe ourselves reacting particularly to some stimulus in a way that, we see there's some kind of repetitious reaction that is not useful to our life. Some type of snapping at someone or some type of judgmental flare-up. it is really with only a good general feeling in the body that we will ever see it clearly. For, so naturally, if we are reacting, that poison seeps into our feelings and gives us a negative feeling. Even if we enjoy snapping at someone in the moment, afterward we don't feel so good. Plant the feet, focus on the breath, sweetness and feelings in the face. The eyes are soft, the jaw is balanced, not clenching. No extraneous tension. Bridge pose, lift the hips up. This time either stay in bridge or plant the hands by the ears, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Keep the sense of tonus in the low belly. Keep the general sense of extension in the spine. Come on down slowly. Nice. And then lay down. That was really good. You kept the extension in the spine as you came down, so it keeps integrity and safety in the joints. Okay, bend the knees. Either bridge pose or go straight to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Good, come down. Wow. That one was so good. I bet it felt good. How did it feel?
Good.
I love seeing a pose like that where it's so good, I just want to leave it alone. You know? Like there's probably 10 commands I could have given you, but I didn't want to give any because the pose was so good. I could feel that it generally felt good. And that's it's a wonderful thing. Even for our viewers to see what a pose looks like when it feels good. It's very helpful. Do it again. We're going to go and this time walk the feet in a little bit while maintaining that general extension of the spine. So when you walk the hands or the feet in, yep, good, setting the base. When you walk in and you narrow the base, it makes it more difficult to keep the general extension. All of a sudden, more particular things have to happen. You gotta turn your thighs in stronger. You gotta get the upper back to expand. Yeah, exactly. It's got to expand more. Upper arms can turn out. That's very good. Keep the arms firm. And then with the thighs turning in, engage the low belly support. Yep. And that will help you to naturally extend. And then as your belly pulls in, you can press and extend the legs more. That's great. Good pose. Come out. Soft. Nice. Come on down. Try one more. Plant the hands. Lift the hips, keeping the thighs turned in. Core body on. Very nice. Come on down. Okay, great. Let's cool you off a little bit. Hold your right leg and press the thigh. Switch legs. Okay, bring the left leg down. But take your arms out to the sides. And bring your knees over your hips. Twist the knees to the right. Come on up. And switch sides. Okay, bring the knees up. Bring your feet down. Downward dog. Make your way to Shavasana. Come through a forward fold though. Like walk forward gently. Walk forward. Forward fold. Then bend the knees. Sit down. Shavasana. It's called the slowest jump through. And so, as you lay there for Shavasana, remember your intention to rest into, to stabilize a general observation. And that requires that you suspend judgment. As you suspend judgment, you'll notice that a space opens up inside. And in that space, your attention can be more stable. As the breath moves in and out, instead of focusing on the particular of in and out, try to see your breath as a single generating fan. It's like a radiant spinning wheel. And the body has a sense of general heaviness and general lightness simultaneously as you release more and more unnecessary tensions. Tensions in the feet and ankles, tensions in the shins and knees, tensions in the thighs and hips. As you release tensions through the ribs and shoulders, the arms and elbows and wrists and hands. As you release tensions in the neck and then the skull, eye sockets, the jaw and ears, releasing any tension in the lips. And you stabilize that good feeling in the body. Wake the body up. Bend the knees. Roll to your side. Come on up. Is there anything you would like to say to our viewers before we sign off for the day?
No.
No. Great. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.